QUADS. On the table we have 4 different quadruples, 3 of the most iconic and by some considered the very best in the world, and also a Swedish one. And behind the table we have once again Anna. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be back.
So when you visit, usually we drink, or always drink, high alcohol beer. And for me, I usually get pretty uncomfortable above maybe 6.5% ABV. And the fun part is, for you, this is right at home.
Finally, this is where I belong.
We have 2 Trappist beers, these 2. This one is from Belgium as well. It's the St.Bernardus 12. We have Westvleteren 12 and Rochefort 10. And then a Swedish beer from Vreta Monastery Brewery, which is not a real monastery anymore, but the brewery is kind of building on that lore. It actually was the first monastery operated by nuns in Sweden, but it burnt down a long time ago. These 2 beers were kindly sent to me from Thierry in the Netherlands. Thank you very much. And these 2 I have bought, and they have all been in my fridge for over a year, I think.
I'm always so impressed when you keep beers in your fridge for over a year. That never happens at my house, my place.
Well, that's the thing. If the beers have an ABV under 6.5, they won't last for long. But these ones, I'm still suspicious.
That's why I'm here.
Yes.
As always, I'm here when you need to learn something new.
Exactly.
And I love quadruples already. And this is, we have again this a moment of where one of my favorites are in the competition. So it's going to be cool to see if I think this one I've had before, and I think this one, but maybe not because it's so hard to find. I don't remember.
I think it's really hard to get the actual bottle to bring home, but if you go to specific Belgian bar, it's not unusual, I think, for them to have this for...
Yeah, I've been to Brussels once, maybe it was, but this one is totally new. So these 2 I know, this one I already love very much, and this I don't know. But I always love quadruples, so let's bring it on.
And this is from 2023, the Vreta Grand Cru. Grand Cru is apparently another name for quadruple.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In Belgium.
Oh.
I read somewhere, probably Wikipedia. So which one do you think we should start with?
Ooh.
The Westvleteren 12 is maybe the most legendary beer. At least it used to be really hard to get your hands on, and some people consider it to be the best beer in the world. And maybe when our taste buds are completely fresh, we should start with that.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it. Will you do the honors? You are the best beer opener and best beer pourer. So let's call this beer number 1. Oh, it was a feisty one.
Yeah, sometimes they are yeasty. We joke about this with the crown. Well, these ones I don't think you'll have like a thick crown. What do you call it? Not crown. Is it crown?
Yeah, head.
Head. No, a head was the word I was looking for. But I always pour it like this And I think that's the best, like pour it slow in the beginning and then a little bit faster in the end, and you'll just get a little bit like that.
Nice, thank you. As usual, I'm pretty hungry, so let's see if this can...
Sorry, I destroyed the... Yes.
This looks fancy, but it's the cheapest bed sheet you can buy at IKEA.
Good to know.
Let's have a sniff then. Westvleteren 12, the legendary.
I've just had a cold for 3 weeks, but I hope my taste buds and my nose are in the game.
Yeah.
It smells promising.
I agree. It smells kind of sweeter than I imagined. Like, sweet cherry spirit.
I mean, in the earlier episodes that we did about barley wine and porter and stout, I've talked about Belgian beer and these kind. We are once again in this high level of alcohol, like the depth of the taste and the scents that you get from it is in the same kind of palate, I would say. Of course, there's a difference, and I think my taste buds will be better than my nose because I cannot feel the whole palate. I can just have some tones here and there.
Yeah.
But I can feel some. I can scent some tar or.
It's like brown sugar or almost kind of caramel or toffee. It smells a lot sweeter than I thought. I think spicy, bitter, boozy when I see these kinds of beers, but this smells really promising.
You always say that.
So maybe I will like the mildest of the beers best, and you will like the one with the most punch, maybe.
It used to be that, but I mean, we never agree when we talk about barley wine, porter stout, and now we have these quadruples. We never agree on that because I love the higher alcohol level a lot because the flavor brings out, the alcohol brings out the flavor. Yeah. And I don't have a problem with it. I don't feel the taste of alcohol in the same way as you do.
Yeah, it seems like I get overwhelmed much easier.
But I would say what I can scent today, this is a little bit sweeter. It smells a little bit sweeter than the quadruples that I've tried before.
Okay. I should say as well that these bottles have been out of the fridge for maybe 1.5 hours now. So I think the temperature is kind of reaching the perfect temperature. Maybe it's just a little bit cold still, but when we warm it up, we will get even more of the flavors, I think. But let's taste.
Yay!
Now let's see. Do you know how to taste in Belgium?
Toast.
Yeah. I think you can go 2 ways because they have 2 official languages. So if we go Prost, Santé for the French-speaking.
Let's do that.
Let's do both.
Because we can't pronounce either of them, so let's go for it.
But you all think it's charming, right? So, Prost, Santé, skål.
Skål. A little bit more bitter than I thought. A little bit stingy, but I like the taste. I really like the taste. You have the dark bread and but a little bit too bitter for my taste when it comes to these.
Really?
I'm gonna taste some more.
It's a real kind of journey you go through. It really has a start, a middle, and a finish. In the beginning you get kind of what I smelled. You have sweet cherries or cherry spirit, some kind of brown sugar.
I don't get the sweet taste as much as you do. I don't like cherries now.
Okay.
Maybe when we smelled it, there were some sweetness to it, but now when I drink it, I think almost the sweetness is gone for me.
The smell is definitely the sweetest, more sweet than the taste. But I get also the bitter finish. But I think it starts out sweet. And there in the middle you also get it's like pretty grainy malt base. I think they use mostly Pilsner malt. I'm not sure. No, scrap that, I'm not sure at all. But you almost get more of a grainy kind of rye bread malt base.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably I just watched a video about some other Trappist beer where they used Pilsner malt. Forget I ever said something.
Maybe you know.
Maybe I know better than anyone.
No, I meant the viewers. Maybe they know. I was trying to be engaging the audience.
Very
Maybe
good.
you know.
Yeah, which kind of malts do you use in Westvleteren 12? Let us know in the comments.
Yes, please.
Well, it's not as overwhelming or punchy or it's not as bad as I feared and not as good as I hoped, because this is really legendary beer and you want a really unique experience. But if I had this blindly, I could have guessed maybe some of the barley wines we had.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure if I really can.
No, I don't agree with that, but I would absolutely, if I have a blind test on this one, I could absolutely think that it was some kind of, what you said with Pilsner, some kind of dark lager or something like that. For me, it goes more towards the bitterness or those kinds of grains that you can taste in dark lagers or pilsners.
Yeah.
For me, the quadruple, like the classic quadruple taste, is not there for me. If I have 100% fresh and well taste buds, I don't know, but that's what I feel.
Yeah. Because I don't practice drinking these kinds of beers all the time, I kind of mix them up, so it could really be anything. I made a video about Dutch bock beers, or autumn bocks at one point. Beers also kindly sent from Thierry in the Netherlands. And it might be maybe one of those beers. I know La Trappe had one, which I got cherries as well. That might be kind of similar, but...
What, La Trappe, which one?
La Trappe bock beer. They make one bock beer. And I think it's the only bock beer in the world that is an ale. So it's top fermented. It usually isn't, but that one is. But yeah, I would have liked this experience to be more unique. I think that is what I'm trying to say.
But maybe it's the storytelling around the beer that makes the beer like that. It's so you can so rarely find it, and you have to be at that monastery at a special time at 12 o'clock on the 3rd of June, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
When the rooster cuckoos 5 times behind the moon, that's when you buy the beer, and then it will taste amazing.
Yeah, then of course the experience will be very unique.
Or if it was served on tap in the monastery, something like that. Yeah, I'm not disappointed. It's not a bad beer, but
no, it isn't.
Yeah, about the story about the beer, I don't think I've had it before. No, I'm pretty sure. No, yeah.
I know this one is really hard to get hold of in the US, But I don't think you should be too sad if you can't get it, because both of these are easier, I think, and we haven't gotten to them yet, but I have a feeling they are just as good or better. So should we maybe save a little bit in the bottle? Never drink the sediment.
Isn't it yeast, or is it the thing that you find? It looks like it's food when you do that. You drop something from your mouth into the bottle.
Yeah, the particles and the yeast.
I always thought it was yeast, especially on this one. Don't drink the last drops with the spongy looking things, because you can get really sick, or like the feeling of being really sick.
And I don't think it tastes very good either. I've read once again that it's yeast and protein clumps. But let's save a little bit of that beer and move on to, now you choose.
Then I think I'm very curious about this one, because quadruple for me is like an international. There was a brewery in Kalmar. I've talked about this before. In Kalmar, there's a brewery called Ängö, and when they were totally new, they made a quadruple that was actually heavenly, but they don't do it anymore. Otherwise, I'm pretty suspicious towards beers in Sweden. I mean, lagers, pilsners, IPA, sure. But when it comes to specific, like the Belgian tradition or these special beers, I'm a little bit like, nah, can the Swedes really do it? Even if Ängö made it once. So maybe, or no, I think we should take this one. For me, this is a very commercial beer.
Okay.
So,
sure.
I've heard, maybe this is just a rumor, it's a Trappist.
That one is not
a
Trappist.
Yeah, right. That's the point. They make it look like it's a Trappist, but it's. Someone told me that this is just a commercial beer, but I like it. I almost like everything I've had from St.Bernardus. But let's do this one. This because I want to say my darling to the left, because this one I already know.
You don't want to be disappointed.
Gonna blow your mind.
Probably. I think though that. This brewery brewed for the Westvleteren, or if the brewery is called maybe Saint-Sixtus, or was it the other way around? One of these brewed their beer at the other, and then when they remade the rules in the 90s, I think, to be able to actually call a beer a true Trappist beer, the monks have to be involved. They have to oversee.
That's the thing.
And that's when it's changed. So they made their own beer, and they didn't brew it anymore at them.
But that gives like some facts to the story. Then maybe these are the guys who brewed their beer at their monastery, and when they stopped brewing there, it became commercial with no monks in the beer.
Yeah.
Zero Christianity in this beer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And every 1,000 bottle, this monk will.
He's a fraud.
He'll close his eye. This eye is open, but in every 1,000 bottle, they put on a different label. And it goes like with a closed eye.
With a wink.
With a wink.
And do you get a prize if you get that beer?
No, you get just the honor, I think. It's not like a golden ticket or anything.
Or 20% beer.
Oh.
20% alcohol. Okay, so this is number 2.
Number 2, the commercial beer.
So you have to have your number 2 badge. So everybody can see how professional we are.
Yes.
We are. You are. I'm just the friend who comes here for free beer.
You are my amateur friend.
Yes.
Oh, also we have some fluffy white bread. maybe to cleanse the palate.
You've learned from earlier episode that Anna needs to eat something after the first beer, or it will
be a disaster.
The job with cutting the final movie will be shorter if you serve me bread. Empty calories.
Not a bad idea, right?
Very good idea. And this is also a very good idea. Just to be able to enjoy the full beer without getting drunk, but also to actually cleanse your mouth for the next. You get a new experience every time you drink from the beer.
Drink more water, folks. Nice sound.
Big bubbles, lame foam. When you get the watery big bubbles, you know it's going to be lame foam.
It dissipated more quickly, but the bubbles are different sized.
And you see, it's like kind of water. It's like
it's not thick and
yeah. That's what I mean. St.Bernardus.
Really low expectations here.
12 points. 12. Yeah, whatever. 12.
Ah, 12.
I watched Eurovision since I was like forever.
12 points.
12 points.
Let's sniff.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Did you smell the olives right away? Olive oil.
Maybe I did.
Olive oil was the first.
Like the. Do you mean kind of the water when you buy a can of
the concentrate the water that it's in?
Yeah. Or did you mean the actual oil?
I just got the word olive up in my head. I don't know.
Interesting.
As specific as that. And now it disappeared. So maybe it was just.
There's so much difference in the foam. If you look at the Westvleteren, it's almost like you have some foam still on there, in my glass at least. And here it just disappeared. Doesn't smell as sweet. Some people say you can't smell sweet.
They are wrong, apparently.
I don't say that.
Some other episode you said you cannot smell
bitterness.
Bitterness. That I can buy.
That I think is true.
That sounds more. Yeah, because I can't even tell how bitter smells like. But sweet, you have a lot of things that is sweet that you can smell: strawberry, raspberry, cherries.
But maybe it is that you can't judge from the aroma how sweet the beer actually is. It can smell sweet but be dry and bitter still.
Number 1 was the proof of that, because the sweetness kind of disappeared. No, I would say that the first sniff was like so strongly olive oil or olive of some kind, and then it directly went away, and now I cannot smell anything kind of.
Try to go back to the Westy 12.
Yeah, but here you have the rye bread already in.
Yeah, and it's so sugary. It's like it's what do you call it? Not a soda, but saft.
Lemonade.
Lemonade, maybe a juice with made from extracts. It smells like it would be really watery. It's a little bit of that what I call cherry or cherry spirit, or some other fruits as well, red fruits. But it's really hard to get this aroma, I think.
Yeah, I cannot smell any specifics. It can be also that I'm still a little bit.
Should we try it?
Yes, let's do it. Prost, santé,
skål.
And skål. It's a little bit thinner, but here you have the quadruple taste, I would say. And you have to believe me. You have to buy everything I say, since I've had more quadruples than you've had.
Of course. It has a nice aftertaste. Is it more herbal maybe?
The thing is that it's not as bitter as the first one at all. I wouldn't say, oh, this tastes like lager or pilsner or IPA or anything. That's what I mean. It's more balanced and there's no bitterness, and yeah, herbal. Why not? Like you have the rich palate directly that doesn't go into the typical specific for a beer, like bitterness or a specific kind of hop or what's the other one called? Hop or, well, the things that you brew beer with.
Yeast?
Yeast. Well, anywho, yes, I agree. Do you agree with me that there's no like direct bitterness in this one?
Yes, but at the same time, maybe there is more alcohol warmth, or maybe it's because it's more disguised in this one. I need to compare straight away.
If you put the beer on the back of your tongue, you will have another feeling of another kind of what do you call it? Taste. Sensation.
Now the Westie 12 tasted really nice after this one.
Oh. Oh yeah. The bitterness was almost gone now. That's cool. So maybe we should just...
So maybe there's not as much bittering hops in the St.Bernardus, but at the same time I get, I'm sensitive to high alcohol beers, and I get the more like a boozy note there, alcohol note. It's only 10%, and the Westie is...
It was 10.2.
10.2,
yeah.
So the Westie is actually slightly stronger, but I would have guessed this one is much stronger.
Well, I can agree, because now I got the warm and fuzzy feeling that we're talking about when I'm here. I didn't get it from that one, but this one was more... But as I said the last time, what Porter Stout was the last episode I visited. It was like it's not the alcohol. Is for me it's like the taste, the notes, the sensation of the taste. It's not the alcohol, but it can be the same. But we say different things, but we mean the same.
Probably.
That's what 10% is doing to ya.
Yeah. It's also the second beer now, so maybe the more we progress, the more...
What do you mean?
What are you talking about? Maybe I didn't experience maybe the same taste journey.
From olive oil, from olive to quadruple.
To herbs.
To herbs. No, but I really enjoy when you got, I'm sensitive. You talk about your sensitivity towards alcohol. For me, it's bitterness. When it's too bitter, I get turned off directly. It's something with a... Sure, if I order a double IPA or something then I know, but even when I order an IPA, it rarely happens, but when I do, I don't want that explosive bitterness. I think it destroys everything, because then the bitterness is there, and it takes a while before it like disappears from your taste buds. So everything that is not the typical beer I like, I think. So this one, even if it's commercial, I sounded very negative from the beginning. I like St.Bernardus, even the 6 and the 8 and the other ones. It's a really good brewery. Yeah.
It's a little bit softer and smoother somehow. But to me as well, not as exciting maybe. Even though I had such high hopes for the Westie 12, when I compare these two, the experience is slightly more mundane.
But I mean, the experience is also, it can be really something negative, because if you drink this in an hour. 1 hour later, it can
Yeah,
taste
exactly.
another way. I had the expectation that this was gonna taste exclusive, deep, really Belgian, and then I got just a mouth of bitterness in my mouth. So
That is a good point, actually, because maybe it's not fair just to have a few sips and then kind of rate the beer just from that. It could be the temperature, it could be anything, and if you enjoy it for a long time, maybe other flavors suddenly appear.
true. Even if I think the temperature is perfect now for Belgian beer or for quadruples, it's like a couple of, what could it be? It's warm but not cold. It's warm. It should be just a tinge of cold, but then directly almost the same temperature as your body. No, not 37, but it should go down smoothly like tea or something like that.
I'm thinking kind of the traditional Swedish summer, cold summer lake. That is probably perfect.
Between 18 and 20.
Maybe a little colder, actually.
Or in Lisbon, where I spend a lot of time, there it's always cold. It's like Medelhavet. The Atlantic Sea. It comes from there, so it's always, even if it's like 32 degrees in the air, it's just above 20. It's really, really cold.
Ah.
So it's like the Atlantic Sea around Lisbon.
Okay. I might sound too negative in this video, but I warned you going in that this isn't really my type of beer. But I do enjoy this. I must clarify before we continue. Even though I say this is boring or it's boozy, I do actually enjoy them, and I'm really happy I'm doing this tasting.
I've been here for the barley wine. I've been here for the porter and stout. Like we just had two, but would you say that the taste of these two is better than barley wine and porter and stout? Is this more of your kind of beer? I won you over with both the barley wine and porter and stout, but both of them were not your cup of tea.
Yeah.
Too boozy. Me.
I actually can't remember, because now I'm mixing these up with at least the barley wines. I do remember I liked one of the porters, the smoothest one, the
Octopus.
the nicest one, yeah, the most harmless one.
Yeah, the most balanced one. But I would say that if you compare, barley wine is much sweeter, but compared to porter and stout or barley wine, this would be more of the palate of the barley wine, I would say. But it's not fair either, because quadruples is quadruples. It's Belgian beer with depth.
Yeah.
And it's like, for me, it's like it's number 4. You have double, you have triple, and this is number 4. That's why my expectation is always big, because quadruple for me is like you're having the whole perfume store in one.
So it gets better and better.
I would say the quadruples that I love, to me, it's like that, because it's dark, it's heavy, and you have a broad palate. That's why this one is more quadruple to me than the first one. Quadruple for me is not bitter.
I made a video about Belgian triples, if you have seen that one, and I think that as well was, trying Belgian triples for the first time or something like that.
Why wasn't I here?
Yeah.
I was busy. I was out touring.
No,
maybe.
it was because I wanted to use the brewery's glasses, and I only had one of each glass. But compared to that one, I actually liked the quadruples better. I think it's something with the darker flavors and more of the darker malts maybe, and some other things that I actually prefer. Maybe it's a bit sweeter as well.
Well, I love triples as well. For me, triple is a stronger version of a wheat beer. You know what I mean? It's like it's very sparkly and very bright, but also you have the Belgian depth in the taste.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you have to invite me back for a triple show, I think.
I guess.
Where I choose.
You choose the triples. I'm on. Okay, I'm guessing you want to save your sweetheart for last.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
now
a good build-up for the show.
imagine the disappointment.
Because I know this is an explosion. I know this already.
Okay.
And we were at a beer show, a beer fair, beer trade festival in the beginning of the year, where I tasted. Wait a minute. Is this one that I tried? They had okay, because I tried a quadruple from Vreta at the festival.
Okay.
But it's not that one. You are sure?
They make a lot of beers from the quadruple base. They have the Christmas beer as well with the same. They just add spices to it, and I guess this is also the same base, but maybe it's lagered for a longer time.
I know that I had a quadruple because it was that reaction of, because I haven't heard about the brewery before. It's like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, and they have quadruple, woohoo! So I had that little glass that you get at the festival. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's. I'm not gonna tell you what I thought about it.
Okay, I remember.
But I always love a Swedish brewery. It's like it's always cool to find people who want to start a brewery first of all, and to make really good beer. We have a lot of good ones in Sweden.
And this is a pretty new brewery, actually. They kind of exploded because they concentrate only on Belgian-styled beer, and also because they build on the lore of that old nun monastery. It feels, more authentic somehow. But there are other breweries in Sweden. Do you know Snausarve, for instance, on Gotland? They are I haven't tasted anything from them yet, but I've heard many times they make great Belgian-styled
Are they at
beers.
Systembolaget?
They are, but I think you have to order them. They are not on the shelf.
Systembolaget is where we buy alcohol in Sweden. We have a monopoly store where the only place we can buy alcohol from.
Over 3.5% ABV.
I guess you've told them before.
Yes. But maybe you don't watch every video.
Very true.
But let me translate from Swedish, and they say Vreta Monastery Grand Cru is a Belgian quadruple which is brewed once per year. Here we offer complex flavors of dried. Maybe I shouldn't read this.
Oh, no.
No.
That's enough.
That's enough. Let's see if there is something. No. Yeah, it could be yeast in the.
It's yeast and stuff. Okay, let's open it.
Okay, enough talking. Will you please do the honors?
Yeah, and this is a huge bottle.
Yeah. But I have special caps, so I can save the rest.
I was hoping for a all-night party. The insecure laugh of Daniel. He wants me to go home directly after the show.
No, we are actually going to enjoy some cheeses afterwards. But
yes,
for once,
and chocolate.
You will not enjoy with us because it's a bit embarrassing to chew on television. I almost said.
Okay, then we go with the Vreta kloster. All right.
It looks like they have kind of the same color, all of them, right? Feels like it.
Color is brown.
Brown color. Maybe it's a little lighter and redder.
Yes, a lot more red. Wonder what that is. Blood. Satan. Oh. That was strange.
Now I get actually almost a bit of smoked quality.
Yeah, it was.
Could it be the most interesting smell so far?
It was. I mean, since you mentioned the red, I was like it's smells a bit like what you call it. Not amber, but it's. Oh, I can't find the word in my English vocabulary.
What's the word in Swedish?
No, what's the word in Swedish? I don't even.
But I get almost, you know, I had a beer, a Belgian beer, in the beginning of the year as well, which was lagered in a cave. So it had kind of, like you get cave lagered cheeses, you know, a little bit of those notes in the beer. It was really special. Grotten something.
Cave.
And I get, it's a little bit smoked and salty. I can get this kind of notes in German wheat beer, the Hefeweizens sometimes.
No, now
Almost a bit meaty, but in this case more like lagered cheese. It's something almost umami-like.
Well, now it disappeared on me, but the first sniff I had, the absolute first sniff, it was like this sweet tree. Since I don't even remember the Swedish word, is it something with it has to do with trees, and it's sweet.
Yeah.
I cannot find the word.
Sav.
Yeah, sav in Swedish.
I don't know that word either, but it's kind of like the tree sweat.
Tastes amazing. The trees sweat. Sav. It's a very, very Nordic word, sav. Now I'm very, very curious about the taste. Shall we?
No, I need to continue exploring the aroma. This is really exciting to me.
It actually also we've been on this topic before when it becomes a little bit on the glue side.
Yeah.
When it's like Tipex or.
I don't get a lot of that. More, I almost got a kind of a blood, metallic, that kind of metallic note.
Maybe it's that I'm sensing.
And again, that kind of cherry, that probably is something else. Some sort of red fruit. Maybe dried red fruit.
I don't trust my nose, 100%.
Also, maybe a bit more sugary again. More like the Westie 12.
I took a break and then I sniffed again and found something else. I have to cleanse the air.
Put a piece of bread in the nose.
In the nose.
It's not as sugary as Westie 12, but it's something like maybe honey.
Yeah.
Or almost floral. I'm really intrigued by this. This
is, me too.
For me, the best aroma.
Can we read now? Can we read now what it says?
No.
No, okay.
Because that has to do with the flavors. So we need to try taste first.
Sorry.
And my memory is so short, so I've already forgotten what it said. And this time it's just Swedish.
Yes.
So.
Skål.
Skål.
It was on the winey side.
Yeah.
A little bit like...
Yeah, a little bit of red grapes.
But I would say that we often complain about that it smells fantastic and that it tastes nothing. But this, I would say, the taste... Well, it tasted like it smelled like. It was not like two different sensations.
Yeah, it matched. Maybe the aftertaste isn't as lingering as the St.Bernardus.
But this is another taste.
And it's not as herbal. I often go back to my kinds of beer. I like when it's malty and you have a lingering herbal aftertaste. But this also has something that is lingering.
I would say the bitterness comes in the end, but it doesn't really bother me because it's already so. Here, I like this time I can sense the alcohol.
Okay.
I never do that, but now I can sense. Oh, this is a high level of alcohol beer.
I think
That was the first.
it actually is.
It's 10 also, huh?
Yeah.
It's not as balanced as St.Bernardus, I would say. St.Bernardus, Portuguese accent all of a sudden. St.Bernardus. I would say this pally was more balanced. This also has a quadruple taste, but it's the bitterness in the end, like, makes it go in another direction in the end.
This one actually has more of that Pilsner malt character, although it's so dark. I mostly get kind of dry crackers, fluffy white bread.
I think, I think
Yeah?
it's very herbal, but herbal when it comes to like cough medicine or not the herbal. It's good, but it's on the bitter side, so it's a bit like cough pills or
Yeah, I know what you mean.
when you have a sore throat, you have these herbal
Yeah.
pills you buy at the drugstore. That kind of like boring, I would say, a little bit boring taste. This is more festive. For me, this was bitter, but this is only bitter in the end.
Compared to the St. Bernardus, it was actually really dry. I didn't get that the first time. For the final, we will of course compare all the 4 beers and see if anything has changed. It's really difficult when you start to mix the beers in your body, but that's the only way, and sometimes you discover new notes in the beers as well. But for me, maybe this Grand Cru by Vreta Kloster is my favorite so far.
Well, for me, it's St. Bernardus is my. If I would go to bar afterwards and buy a quadruple and
You can only order one of these.
Of these
then
3?
it's-
No, yeah, it is because it's the quadruple taste that I like, that I want. The broad, warm palate, no bitterness, and I mean none of them are bad. You've seen my reactions towards bad beers.
Exactly.
I have none of those reactions here. All of them are good.
That would actually be interesting to bring in a bad beer as well, so you can appreciate these ones more.
We have water.
All right, we have one to go. Do you think it will be your favorite?
Yes, I now when I've tried these 3, I would say I'm pretty sure that this will be still one of my. I mean, this is one of my favorite beer. All categories of beer. I really like this one. I love the excitement when I have a favorite amongst the beers that you've chosen.
Because did we tell the viewers about the barley wine video where you had one favorite?
It was dramatic. It was a lot of feelings. I've changed.
Yeah, you're a changed
My number 1
person.
favorite of all barley wines. It was a Swedish barley wine, and then another barley wine came along, flirted with me, jumped into my mouth, and I changed. Or at least there was some competition there. I both got divorced and remarried, so to speak. So let's see what happens. I'm mostly curious about your reaction because you're the virgin.
But from memory now, before we try it, is this beer? Is it sweeter? Does it have something the other beers haven't, or
First of all, it has 1.3 more alcohol.
Oh, it's
it's 11,
stronger.
11.3.
Right.
And I would say that this is more. I think you will experience what I always like with the barley wines and the porter and the stouts. This is more of a taste explosion. It's more of everything. It's deeper. It's stronger. It has another depth. Compared to these, I would say this is more of an explosion. And
Okay.
this is always the thing with me. So yes, I can believe that you will think that it's like, since you're sensitive to alcohol percentage, that you get the alcohol thing that you don't like. But I think you will understand what I mean also.
Yeah, okay.
About the explosion. This together with some dark chocolate, this could be a dessert beer as well as porter and stout and barley wine also have the qualities to be.
So it should be sweeter maybe. Maybe in the...
It's more Belgian. If I can say it's more Belgian in the taste that compared to what have you, like Chimay, the blue one, Chimay, and give me something more that's like a dark Belgian beer.
I only had De Ranke, but I don't think that's a very new favorite.
I don't know that one.
Not...
like Golden Drak,
Lef Brun.
No.
That's
This is
super
another,
sugary.
Yeah, no, this is not the category. I mean, I didn't even think that this was a quadruple. For me, it's only Rochefort. They have 6, 8, and I didn't even think about that it was a quadruple.
Do you know what the numbers stand for?
No, I don't.
Something I've also read that might
How many
not
monks?
be...
How many monks were involved in the making of the beer?
For this, 10 monks. No, I read somewhere or someone said that the numbers are the number of weeks it takes to brew the beer.
No, that sounds fair. I always, for me, it's like I'm thinking of the alcohol level. Since I just thought it was a Belgian beer. I didn't think of it like a quadruple, so I didn't think.
I don't know if they call it a quadruple. It is kind of a commercial trick, maybe, to call beers quads or quadruples. I don't know if it even says that. It just...
No, it doesn't. So that's why I was like, really? I was happy to see it on the table, but I haven't thought about it as a quadruple before.
And I think as well at Systembolaget, if you read about beers there or order beers, all of these is just dark, strong Belgian ales, I think.
There has been on like yeasting a long time. 10 weeks.
Yeah.
4 times. Quadruple is 4 in something. Quadruple.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You have the regular blonde, which is blonde. Then you have
a light ale.
The double, which is dark. The triple is blonde again. And the quad is dark.
Oh.
What's that all about?
If you know, let us know in the comments. Woo! It's party time. Now, since I know it's a cheap doily, I can just like smear it.
Yeah, great.
Hello, lover.
Hello, old friend. Oh, it's darker.
Yes, this is the...
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Oh, yes. It's much darker.
Yes. I'm gonna wipe my hands on the doily even. I don't care anymore. And on my pants.
Right.
For me, this is the real stuff.
What do you think about this foam then?
Now you see it's better.
It's thicker.
It's thicker. Yeah, it's more Belgian. It's more... You got
More
a better foam
tasty.
than I, but that's my pouring technique, I think.
You can take a few more drops and just pour it
For the foam?
from above. Yeah. Beautiful.
That is my pouring technique. Is the last zht is all about the crown.
Yeah. All right.
Hmm?
What?
Call the
Oh, yeah.
911.
This might actually be the best
Woohoo!
aroma.
Woohoo! Do, 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 do.
It's
Do, 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 do,
both
do.
sweet, mild, and intense at the same time.
Like a lover.
The aroma is so compact. There's so
Yeah.
much in there.
Can
It's
you
sweet.
can you understand that it's an Anna favorite if you compare to the porter and stouts and barley wines that we had? Can you see that, like, oh yeah, this is an Anna beer?
I don't know if I still understand, but I know you like. It needs to be much. It needs to be, you know, an explosion,
Adiva has
as
her
you say.
needs.
Yeah.
It has to be a lot.
It's something. It's like almost kind of sweet licorice. And it's like when you buy candy, I guess you can do that in any country, but in Sweden it's pretty common that you mix your own candy bag. It's like you have kind of mixed, some candy are a bit salty, then you have licorice, and then you have lots of sweet bits in there as well. It's like a candy bag, but it's not only sweet. It's you have mixed salty and maybe
But I understand what you mean. It had.
you can buy these small kind of taco pizzas. It's like a crazy mix in here. Let's do it. Prost.
Prost.
Santé.
Santé.
Skål.
There you have it.
Your reaction is always so fast. For me, it takes, 5 seconds before I.
It's like a Tinder date. You actually know after 5 seconds, like, nope, this is not.
That is actually kind of true.
But I think also that's actually the thing with me, that I like the direct reaction. You are more like a guy who wants to think and maybe this and maybe that.
Analyze a little bit, really take in all the components.
Same with fashion. If I'm at the eBay finding something, I want that jacket, I see it directly. You will maybe this and maybe that. You're reflecting upon things. I want the direct sensation. I want that guy. I don't want that guy. I want this guy.
Sometimes it is like, I know I want that. I know I like that best. So, for instance, these glasses.
Really good. Yeah, look really sharp in those.
Yeah, thank you. And some clothes, I immediately see this is the one. But then I have to spend another half hour to go through everything else, so I know it's the right choice,
Fair enough.
But in beer, I don't know if people have different taste buds, I guess, but I'm all about that long taste journey, that you have a start and you have a middle and you have a finish and you might have a lingering aftertaste. And before I say something, it takes 5-6 seconds before I know.
This went very psychological on us, but no, it's the other way around for me. I know directly. Do I want that jacket? Do I want that guy? Do I want this beer? And for me, I want to be surprised. I want to be moved. I want to feel something. I don't have time to maybe, yeah. You have more patience than I.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. I know it, actually.
But what would you say, what do you find taste-wise in the beer?
It has a very typical Belgian taste, I would say. That sweet and very powerful taste. It's hard to describe, but it's what we talked about before, like knäckebröd in Swedish, this dry, dark...
rye crisp bread.
Rye crisp bread, yeah. Together with that top note that is sweet. And then you have this bread and also, not tar, maybe... I would not say tar, but yeah, I think that's enough actually. Like the sweetness on top and the rye bread in the bottom, and together with the strong alcohol that, of course, always like brings out that flavor of the beer. And I mean, here you have no bitterness.
Really?
This, I would say not.
For me, I get some of the flavors that I also get in the bock beers, which could be over 7% lager beers, the Maibox or the Helles box, which is kind of bitter orange. It could be apricot.
There's already some stuff in my beer. It's like particles, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not worried, but we actually poured the bottom. It's almost empty.
Okay.
Just be careful there.
I don't get that kind of bitterness when you accidentally pour the bottom of certain Belgian beers. Could be really spicy and bitter. It is herbal. It feels like, I don't know the kind of hops they use, but it feels like kind of more traditional European or German noble hops. The nice herbal quality, and the bitterness it's not stingy. It's pleasant, but it's there.
I can agree that there are some bitterness around it, but it's not the first thing that strikes me.
Yeah.
The first thing that strikes me is the alcohol. I can sense it in the way I talk. But I mean, this is also a lover of mine, so I already knew what was coming. But I mean, you have to agree this is something else to these three.
This was really good. It might be the favorite.
Be my lover, would you be my lover? I want him over.
But should we maybe...
But can I say something?
Yeah, you can.
Since I didn't even think that it was a quadruple, I would still say that number 2, St.Bernardus, number 12, for me, that's the quadruple taste.
Okay.
So I should not be blown away about that this is be my lover, won't you be my lover? This is a beer that I really like. But is it a Belgian beer taste or is it a quadruple? I would say that this is more of a quadruple taste. Because to me, quadruple is very flowery and very broad and very... But this is my winner, but I just want to put it there.
Okay.
If you compare to other quadruples, there are more quadruples to try, I would say.
St.Bernardus is more floral to me and zesty. But I have no references when it comes to quadruples. And I don't know if that even is a style. If you ask a Belgian brewer, what is a quad? What is a quadruple? They might be, get out of here with your American shit, maybe, your foreign shit. We don't say that here. Maybe they just have their own. Maybe dark, strong Belgian ales are the best, and then they are all different.
No, I would say it's a taste of their own quadruple. And except for the Engöl quadruple that I told you about, that is not even on the market any longer. There's La Trappe quadruple. The Dutch brewery that they are brewing in the Belgian technique, in the Belgian way, but it's a Dutch brewery, La Trappe quadruple. I mean, before I knew that this was maybe a quadruple, I would say that is my favorite quadruple, La Trappe.
That is actually what I was going to say before, that maybe they invented the word quadruple, and then the other brewers saw that it was kind of commercially successful, and then quadruple, that's a good name. and adapted it as well. But you don't see that name.
But what is it? It's like a double, because double Belgian beer is not as strong as quadruple.
Yeah, exactly.
But quadruple is another taste than the double, I would say. Like La Trappe double is. It's good. Oh, of course, it's good. But quadruple is more. I thought it was something with the technique or something with the yeast, something else with the.
I think they just add more and more stuff in for every, for the triple it's more stuff,
but
and it takes longer.
To me, the yeast period is longer than double and triple, right?
Yeah, I think it takes longer to brew that.
Our sources are always like Wikipedia and
yeah. I think other YouTube videos as well, which I always forget where I get my information, but I watch some, historical beer channels as well. But that's interesting. That this maybe is the most typical quadruple taste then.
Taste-wise, I would say so.
Do you want last...
yes, please. Check out La Trappe if you have it in your country. La Trappe quadruple. Sometimes it's you can buy it on Systembolaget in Sweden at some bars if they have good
utbud. It's not the English word.
What is this English utbud? Sortiment.
Assortment?
Nej.
No.
Utbud.
Offering, maybe.
If you're at a bar that knows what they're doing, because we can't find the English word for utbud, eller sortiment. We know a quality bar that just wants to offer you the good stuff. And they had La Trappe quadruple. I wouldn't even think about it. That's the beer I would order. It's a more flourish version of this one. Because this is really good. It's so good. It's so good.
I usually like La Trappe's beers as well.
Yeah, really good brewery.
If you want, I think it's a good segue from other beers into Belgian beers to go through La Trappe, because they are a bit kinder to the palate and usually a bit sweeter. And then you can get into the really heavy stuff.
I think I need to come back and I will choose the beers.
Yes, please.
Of quadruples.
But you can't get any more iconic than this, I think. This is the most famous QUADS.
I mean, now we tried Westvleteren. Now we've done that. And it wasn't all that. I think that's the surprise of the... That's the surprise of the evening of the show. If you compare it to the other episode that we've done together, none of them are like awful. I'm not angry.
No.
As I usually get if something is really bad.
It is like when you go back to them, you find something new that is, this is really nice. And that is really nice.
It's a bit difficult because they are very they have high level palate. So if I drink this one and then this one, then all of a sudden this one tastes really good. I mean, that is not really fair.
You kind of mix them together.
Yeah.
But there are differences, and every time I return to the Rochefort,
that's the pronunciation that
the Rochefort 10.
we use.
I get surprised of the kind of salty quality, the cave lagered cheese qualities. It's so special.
Yes, it is. Among all my beer nerd friends that I've had for a long, long time, a lot of them has this on their top 10 list. It's always quality. It always makes you happy, and it's not about the alcohol level. It's about the taste and the richness and the quality of the brew.
And on the list of those beer nerds, these beers, or the two Belgian beers, weren't on that
No,
list.
no.
That's...
We've all been told about the tale, about the show me the bottle.
Westy 12.
Yeah, we've all heard about this thing that you have to be at the monastery at a certain time, a certain, you know, this and that. But no, I mean, nobody has this one on their list because they haven't had the opportunity to drink it,
Exactly.
I guess.
Thank you, Thierry, again.
Yes. But this one is, I mean, even if you can, this is on the temporary supply at Systembolaget every now and then.
So I thought as a pièce de résistance, as a finish, you need to drink your favorite beer from the correct glass, of course.
You show off.
The Rochefort glass. I have most of them. I don't
He's
have
such a nerd.
the Westvleteren glass is the only one here I don't have. But let's see how it...
You should put it on your Tinder profile.
Scare everyone away.
Well, not the right girl. The right girl would know.
That's probably true. Look at that.
A bit yeasty. Can I... No, I don't dare. I have several friends who got really, really bad the day after they drank the last sip with the yeast and what you call it, like thingies.
Do it! Do it!
No, I mean for real, really, really sick. So...
It might be other things, but yeah, you can see it. You have some residue in there.
Other things.
It still looks tasty though.
Well...
I think actually this was my favorite as well. I really like the Swedish one, Vreta Kloster as well, but this is so complex and interesting.
I think it's like if you're wearing a suit from Gucci, you feel like this is made by excellent taste, excellent tailors. It's like 100 perfect, and then you try on a suit from H&M, and it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, it looks good, but it's just thinking, you know, this is good. It's just like quality, it's thought out, it's like balanced, it's everything. But not, I mean, these three are really good also, but it's.
So this is tailor-made, and this is kind of commercial
Gucci.
cheap.
This is Gucci, and this is maybe not H&M. That would be a sad thing to say, but it's just special. It's just like a really, really good beer in a way you cannot really explain. It's just balanced and it's just there for you to like it too. For me, it's like yeah, you know what I'm talking about. This is stuff. It's rich.
It's still, if I want a beer to relax and just enjoy, I might not buy this one, but for the complexity, the interest, just looking for flavors, and maybe like this, share with a friend and enjoy, kind of more like it's an interesting journey more than just relax and enjoy it. This is perfect.
I could have this also again, like as a dessert together with dark chocolate, or yeah, dark chocolate is my preferred dessert with barley wine, porter and stout, and actually all kinds of dark Belgian beer. Yeah, it's you know, it's too much to eat food together with this one.
Probably.
Yeah. All four of them is. This is something that you drink like a whiskey. I've said this before also, but it's something that you sip. It's not like a cold beer in the sun. It's something that you sip on.
I think it would be interesting actually to try to pair this with actual food. You know, when you're hungry, drink one of these beers and have a meal as well. But mostly it feels more right somehow to enjoy some cheeses, some crackers, maybe something sweet as well afterwards. And that is exactly what we are going to do now. And this time you can't watch us. Let us know what your experiences is with Belgian Quadrupels in the comments. And we have more videos with Anna over here if you haven't had enough yet. Thank you for watching, and remember, drink responsibly!